Thank you, Nigel. Right, same rules apply, gentlemen. So 10 minutes. Thank you. We're in your hands.
Thank you. Actually, can we wait till what I'm presenting has been handed out? Everyone should be getting a copy. I've got one. But what I'll do is while we're waiting, I'm Ray Edwards. I'm from Urbis TPD. I'm a traffic engineer. I've got a company that does resource management traffic engineering. My background is I am an ex-council traffic engineer. I was here for 16 years. So I do know about these processes and how these things roll out. What I've prepared for you is it's a statement outlining the position of my clients, which we have Ian Smith over here, Grant McClellan. In the back we've got Peter Dennis and Lainey Mortlock. If you look on the second page, page 2 of the statement, they own the properties in the yellow bordered area. I'm very conscious of the time, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to this statement on the key issue, which is about one parking space that we'd like to see retained. And if I can impress upon the councillors to actually read this submission afterwards when you've got a bit more time to consider the points that we're raising. So just for now, I'm just going to talk to it, and then Mr McClellan and Mr Smith are also going to provide some brief comments. So I'll probably quit within 5 minutes. These guys will probably be a couple of minutes each, and then you can come back. So if we can just look at figure 1, that's the properties we're representing. You've got Morehouse Avenue and Selwyn Street there. What I'm saying in this submission, if we can just take the qualifications and experience as read, is that we've been involved in this process of submissions and consultation with the council about one particular parking space, which you'll see on page 4. So there's figure 2 at the bottom of page 4. We're here today to talk about that one particular space. The original submission that we lodged also talked about the cycle lanes in Selwyn Street, and while I'm a mad cyclist and I even have spoke stickers on my bike, I don't agree with the need for cycle lanes in Selwyn Street. The designated routes are quite clearly going to be up through the park and along Antigua Street. Returning back to the issue of this parking space, which is what I want to talk about today, if you turn over the page to figure 3, which is on page 5, what I've done there is I've zoomed in on the plans that are in your agenda, which shows the proposals as they've been modified for your consideration today. So what's different about this plan compared to the consultation plan? Really the only change is that the cycle lanes have been removed from Selwyn Street. What's also shown is in that red box is this little car parking space that we're here talking about. That's right in front of my clients' businesses. They're seeking that space be retained because of the level of uses that it gets. But also, despite repeated requests in writing to council staff asking for some technical justification as to why that left turn lane needs to be extended, we've never got anything. All we've been given is estimated future traffic volumes, but there's never been any provision, despite repeated requests, of why the lane needs to be that long. Nothing's come forward. Paragraph 11, I just want to highlight that parking space, that's the little red box, if it was retained, it does not affect the cycle lane. Okay, the parking space is there now, the cycle lane runs alongside it now. So what we're talking about doesn't affect any sort of cycle facilities along Morehouse Avenue. So the issue really is there a need to extend the no stopping restriction from where it currently is, which is 27 metres long, to what's proposed by removing the space to 51 metres long? And if we turn over to page 6, what I've done is in our submission we said you don't need to do that. There's no justification for that. There's been no technical analysis of it, or if there has, we haven't seen it. So I've put in paragraph 14, I've underlined there what the council's response was in the submissions. I completely agree with what's underlined, but it doesn't answer the question of do you need to do it in this particular location? And the answer is no. So what I've said there in paragraph 16, I've outlined in points A, B, C and D. I'll leave you to read this later about the sort of issues the council engineering staff should be looking at when they're making changes to on-street parking provision in commercial zones. So the fundamental one is, do you actually have the traffic volumes to justify what's been proposed here? If we can just turn over the page, I want to talk quickly about how much use this parking space gets. So there's figure 4 at the top of page 7. The silver Mercedes in the middle, that's actually parked in the parking space. The red Golf on the right-hand side is actually parked in a piece where the yellow lines stop a little bit short. And the black Utes actually legally parked over a driveway. But the point of this photo, which was taken yesterday afternoon, it shows that there's already excessive demand in this location for parking, and yet we're going to get rid of it. So that covers paragraphs 18, B and C. So then we got down to the issue of, is this left turn lane extension needed for capacity reasons? We've tested the council's predicted future traffic volumes, which cannot be taken as gospel. They're based on a whole lot of assumptions. but we've adopted them anyway to not have that argument. We've looked at it in terms of existing traffic volumes and determined through our analysis using computer software that you only need space there for about 2 vehicles to queue, which is about 10 to 12 metres. Then what the council's proposing right now is they're based on the traffic volumes that they estimate for 2031. So in 17 years' time, what the council staff are saying to you is, oh, we think there's going to be additional traffic turning left here for various reasons, such that we need this additional left turn lane capacity. But that's in 17 years' time, but they're removing the car park now. So what I cover that in paragraphs 20 to 25 in a bit more detail that I'll leave you to read at your leisure. What our point is what's the point of taking away the car park now? The CBD is miles away from being anything like what it was, and the volumes that are going to be turning left into Selwyn Street, it's going to be quite some time before that's going to be anything like what's possibly even predicted. So why don't we just leave the parking space there for now and monitor the situation instead of just blatantly removing it? See what happens. It may never occur for 5-10 years' time. Now, I'm very conscious of the fact that the buses, there's going to be more routes going up Selwyn Street. I really accept that. And I do accept that there's a potential of 2 buses queued up there, that the back of the second bus could then be sticking out by that space. But the problem is no one actually knows that. You're relying on a pile of assumptions, not fact. And the second part about it is you can actually see if it happens. And even then, rather than getting rid of the space, there's actually other solutions that are available to the council at low cost. So if I turn to page 10, I provided 2 examples there at the end of Ferry Road. This is just in Phillipstown. The first one, figure 5, shows where the council has narrowed the footpath down outside the Bronski's Dairy, which was finished about a year ago. There's the narrow footpath with the 2 people walking on it. Then there's the parking lane, the cycle lane and the 3 lanes. Figure 6 shows another even cheaper design solution, which is outside the Phillipstown Post Office, where the curb blocks have been put in, shoulders have been built up, and it's not shown because of that recent trenching, but the white marked parking box actually goes into the footpath area. And it's that latter one that could be readily achieved, if ever necessary, in the future on Morehouse Ave at really low cost. So all we're simply saying is don't get rid of it now, let's monitor it, and then there's low-cost solutions that are available to sort this situation out, but they haven't been investigated. Ian, do you have anything you want to add?
Yes, I do, really. Thank you very much. I've worked in the area for 40 years, and I've seen the volume of traffic there, and then Brum Street was put in, and you find it moves on. But the footpath area, if we were going to lose our sight, there's no volume of walking traffic in that area there, but it's absolutely essential that we can keep that park. I've owned those properties, a lot of those properties, for over 30 years, and I have difficulty in getting tenants. And the problem is when a customer can't park outside, you are unable to have anyone. They'll just move on to the next site. So those businesses basically stall and fail. And we've spent a lot of money over the years. We've gone without a lot to have them. And we would like to think that there will be a growth and those businesses can survive. And we're passionate about Christchurch. We've invested a lot of money in Christchurch and we're here to stay. And we would like to think one little park there is not going to affect our cycleway, and we hope you can see that too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Grant, have you got anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'm the owner of Grant McClellan European, and where the 45 Morehouse Ave, where the car park is, and I consider that if the car park is removed, that it would be disastrous to my business. Most people don't like to drive into a car dealership. They like to be able to pull up on the outside and sort of check the cars out, maybe quickly stroll into the yard, and then have the psychological net of being able to go back out to their car and drive off rather than coming into the yard and feeling that they're trapped. Even during the winter months, you know, when the netball's on, we'll actually stand out there and we'll say to parents, we'll ask them not to park on our car park for the 1 hour, for longer than the duration of the game, because it's really vital to my business. Saturday is a really important trading day to me. If the car park goes, basically I'll have to find another location because it won't work for me. If it won't work for me, it's going to be very difficult for Mr. Smith to find someone else to go there as well.
Now, if I could just add to that you heard earlier from the man from Spokes, Canterbury, he mentioned about Planning 101 and the need to provide parking on sites for private development. He's wrong. the rules in the CBD were recently changed such that land use activity, apart from residential, within the 5 avenues, does not need to provide any on-site parking. So it's been a specific decision through Sarah, admittedly, to say that, okay, develop your sites to their entirety. So that means that what the planning framework that's actually changing for the central city for the next 50 years is going to be increased reliance on on-street parking provision.
Thank you. Thank you for your deputation. How crucial is that park to your business? It sounds as if everything...
I'll move out if it goes.
Right,
I won't have a tenant if it goes.
Simple as that.
right. Thank you.
Can I just add something to that? Just in addition to that last comment, I have the property in Moorhassav for the last 25 years. We've converted from industrial to light commercial and office. That car park is actually intrinsically required in the area. We've got retail functions occurring, and whilst, as Ray said, the new plan is we don't have to provide on-street car parking, we have to provide covered cycle stands. Unfortunately, the market doesn't require it at this point in time. May do in the future, but we're dealing in the here and now. We've invested a lot of money in the area over the last 25 years. Ian's been there for considerably longer. That car park, if we lose that, it does affect our tenants directly as well.
Been incredibly clear about what you want to achieve and how important it is to your businesses. We will consider this today. We're going to do a few of the community boards and then come to this clause. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed for coming.